Okay, hi everybody. Good morning. I'm Michelle with Vaccine Injury Awareness League, and today I've got Jill Hawkins, who is a mom of an elementary school student at Roosevelt Elementary in Santa Monica, California. And Jill was recently the victim of online bullying in a Facebook group that's run by the elementary school PTA. And so, or at least that's who we think runs the elementary school PTA. So what I'd like to do is go ahead and let Jill explain what happened. And thankfully, Jill screen captured the events that were happening on the Facebook group before they deleted her from that group. So Jill, are you all set up to be able to explain, in real time what happened and show us the video that you put together, or the screen capture? Great. Okay, go for it. Thank you, Jill.
Okay, great. Yeah, so I also have a child at the middle school, and this, I don't post in those groups very often, but sometimes there's information that comes through, like with the state, where they're talking about vaccine bills. So, and I consistently get, taken my post down and attacked. But anyway, so this actually happened at Roosevelt Elementary School's parent chat group, and it was on last Friday, I believe the 19th. And Gabriel Law had done a post about the vaccines and the teachers, being available to them. And so
and Gabriel is another parent in that group, or
is he just a parent? Yep.
Okay.
And so he posted a article, I think, from the LA Times about the vaccines and the teachers. And so I just posted originally I just started posting 4 doctors and scientists with information about the vaccine, just to be aware of, because, we do know that the FDA has only approved this vaccine for experimental use. So I wanted to make sure everyone had informed consent and had the information. So I put those forward, and I noticed immediately they disappeared. I'm like, okay. And so I posted the 4 again, and immediately disappeared. And it would show on the, that there was all these comments, but you couldn't see any of them. So they were obviously hiding the comments. So then I put some other stuff on there, and then I started doing some posts about censorship. Censorship's not okay. We must always be able to have a dialogue, because that's how we come to figure out what's our truth. So, and my bad, I actually accused Gabriel Law of taking my comments down, and I later apologized, but I accused him of taking my post down, that censorship wasn't okay. And that's when the PTA, Roosevelt PTA Facebook group came on and said it was them. It wasn't Gabriel that had, done the, taking the post down. And it kind of went back and forth with the PTA. They're saying it was misinformation. I was like, well, how can it be misinformation if you took it down within 2 minutes and didn't see these doctors and scientists? Aren't we supposed to be giving doctors and scientists a voice? That's who we're supposed to be listened to. So anyway, I did screenshot all the pictures on of the different dialogues before I got kicked out of the group. So I did take a video the next day on the Saturday, February 20th, and it just shows my phone is the 20th, and I screen grabbed part of the post, and it shows who the administrators are and that they were admitting that. Let's hit play.
Yeah, let's see the video, and if you can show the audience the evidence of what's going on here, because censorship is a real problem. I know that a lot of people that are trying to share the truth about things are being totally blocked from the public being able to see this information. And you were in a private group. Do you know how many members are in that group?
It's about 350, I believe. And that's where we get our information for our schools. So I'm being denied. And there's people that jumped on the thread and, said obscenities, and just put me down. And, and that, in the comments of the group, it says no bullying. So they left the comments of people bullying, but then I was just giving doctors and scientists, and they were the ones to decide what was misinformation. So anyway,
wow, that's incredible. So the page administrators that appear to be the PTA people, leadership, I guess, I'm assuming, they let these bullying comments stay up, but they didn't allow the links of the truthful information that you were posting to stay up. Is that right?
Yeah, correct.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Let's see what you've got.
Okay. So this just shows it was the 20th or the 19th. Well, I screen grabbed on the 20th, actually.
And feel free to explain like what we're looking at.
Okay, this
so
is the Roosevelt group from my husband's phone. This is
we're
from my
looking at
husband's
you.
phone.
We're looking at a different phone where you're showing what you were screen capturing stuff, right?
Yep. And so this is
Okay.
just scrolling through, and here's like stop the anti-vaccine post, and so this is where this
Oh yeah, can you read that for us? What your comment is
Gabriel
right there?
Law. It's about the censorship and blocking of comments. I accused him of censoring and blocking the comments. He censored. I said he was censoring doctors and scientists about from a post about vaccines. No one should be censored. Everyone should have the information to make informed decisions for themselves. Someone is not interested, they should just decide not to read it or block the person, you know, whose information you don't want. And that just, and then we go to.
Yeah, that was you saying that. I see that.
Yeah, that was me saying that. Yep. Then I'm trying to. So this is right here. This is where the Roosevelt PTA is emitting. It's not Gabriel Law removing your post. Myself as administrator is removing your post. This is not the appropriate place to post this information. Feel free to text me privately. And then I responded, if someone is posting about vaccines, there is no reason why we shouldn't be able to post opposing information. That's called censorship and tyranny. We would not want to be teaching this in school, right? To censor people, not to be able to have discussions, discussions with what's happening to people. So anyway, so then I just said we can't be censoring doctors and scientists to the PTA. I said, I'm responding to what Gabrielle posted about. It is very appropriate.
Yeah, because
and I also asked them how they can know it's misinformation when, you know, they took the post down within a minute of me posting.
Yeah, so clearly they didn't have enough time to read the resources that you were posting.
Yeah, and here's, yeah.
You were posting in response to someone, Gabriel posting a pro, you know, supporting the vaccines for the school or something.
Yeah, and so here's the community rules, and I'm going to show you the administrators for this group. But bottom line is no one should be censored. I mean, so here's the administrators, Roosevelt PTA, and Thea is, I think, the PTA president, and then also Roosevelt Elementary PTA. So both of them, the nonprofit, and there's two of them right there.
Okay, they also have an attorney, it appears. Did you see the name of that one person? It said counsel.
Do you want me to rewind? Oh, that's the end of the video, so I can.
Oh, that was the end. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, they even have an attorney, it appears, in that group. And yet they're still, not only are they promoting an article regarding the vaccines, but they're also, see where it says Blythe Holden Admin General Counsel at something. So they have an attorney on there, and the attorney didn't chime in to uphold that you weren't doing anything wrong by sharing this information. So is the school aware that the PTA that appears to be representing them, because they have the school logo, I noticed, it's and it clearly says Roosevelt, wait, what was the name of the group?
Yeah, Roosevelt Elementary Parent Chat.
Okay, Roosevelt Elementary Parent Chat, and it appears to be run by people who are the PTA, because
Yes.
the administrator that was responding to you, it said Roosevelt PTA. So does the school know that this is going on?
I don't know, not yet. And then I also checked in with the Roosevelt PTA on Facebook, the group that censored me. I said, please put me back in the group. And they said they're not the administrators, which they are. And they're clearly acting as a moderator for that group. So
it's the same, you could tell that it's the same administrator, I guess, by their avatar, or how do you know that it's the same person?
I mean, it's whoever's responding to the people who admitted that they were taking down my post is, I went to that group and sent a message. I don't know who picked up the message. So
okay,
maybe
so there's multiple groups then with that same. So there's the Roosevelt PTA group, but then there's also the Roosevelt parent community,
right?
And they're moderated. They're moderated by the same people.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
Appears.
And then
Okay.
PTA and whoever's responding saying that they're not the ones censoring me, or they, doesn't moderate that group. They do because it's a PTA. So anybody answering my message would be part of the PTA, an administrator. So anyway, it's just.
Okay. Now you're obviously a mom, right? And your child goes to this school. And so do you or your husband or your children, are any of you members of the PTA? Like, are you dues paying members?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I think my husband it's under his name, like, cause he,
okay.
filled out the paperwork.
I remember when I was married, I did that. Like I signed up myself and represented the whole family. So I know how that can go.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got to make sure we're having free speech and not shutting down people's voices.
Well, I really appreciate that you brought this to our attention. We are the Vaccine Injury Awareness League. And as you know, or I think we represent individuals and families that have experienced vaccine-related injuries. And so censorship is becoming a challenge for those of us in our community, because we represent both typical families, families of typical children, and also special needs families. And the reason that we have that mixture is because oftentimes there's an older child that's vaccine injured. And so then the families figure it out, or they work with their doctors to understand what's going on. And then the younger siblings may not have all of the same vaccines that the older child had. And so often what we see is like the older child is injured and has special needs, and then the younger children are perfectly healthy. So that's why we represent both communities of special needs and typical children. So I really want to thank you for reaching out to us and for sharing your story about what's going on. We need to know what's happening out in the world. And this is a prime example of how parents are being shut out of their own community forums just for sharing a contrarian view about what's really going on. So Jill, I just want to thank you for being on with us today. And with your permission, I'd like to post this in our VIAL news, our forums, Telegram. And also, I also feel compelled to communicate with the school leadership, the principal or the vice principal, something like that, and get the word out, because they might be unaware that this is happening. And so
yeah,
clearly,
I would love for you to do that.
Yeah, I'd like to get involved with that. And also, because perhaps if they become aware, there's that old saying that if you know better, you do better. So maybe they just need to be made aware so that they can do something about it and take a stand. They'll either have to align with what the administrators of this parent group are doing, or they're going to have to denounce what these people are doing. But either way, I think it's important for parents to understand what they're getting themselves into when they're joining a PTA and especially an online forum. Well, let me ask you one more question before we wrap up. So how long have you been in that group, on the Facebook group?
Probably at least a few years. I mean, we've been at Roosevelt for probably 8 years, 7 years with my son, but for at least a few years.
Okay.
Yeah. We just always have to have open communication.
So did you feel, before this happened, did you feel comfortable and safe to share information in that group? What is the purpose of the group? It sounds like it's just to, do they plan events or share about fundraisers or like,
I mean, all sorts of different things and different situations going on within the district. And so that's why I was sharing vaccine information, because, they're making laws for our kids, and then our kids are getting kicked out of school based on their vaccination status. And, as you and I both know how prevalent, vaccine injury is, only 1%, Health and Human Services even said that only 1% of vaccine injuries are being reported. And last year there were 60,000 reported. So, we know how prevalent it is. And, I was just I post information about the vaccines because I care about the kids in this district. I care about everyone to have the information, informed consent. And we know it's not getting out to the people. And again, they're taking away our rights, on a state level, and it's affecting locally our schools because people are getting kicked out of school.
So was this your first time ever posting in that group about vaccines?
No, well, in Lincoln, the Lincoln one, I posted a few different times over the years. I mean, I don't do a lot, but I definitely put information there because I have a lot of information about this situation, about all the different lawsuits that are being won, regarding vaccine safety. But they all pertain to our children be able to not be out of school. So I felt like it was, and every time I get met with pushback, I've done it probably less than Roosevelt one over the years.
Okay. Well, it's so interesting. I keep wondering if this is happening to other parents that are, they're sharing in their small local, PTA groups or other parent groups. And if the parents are attacking or the leadership of those groups are attacking, because bullying and censorship is just not allowed. Now, one last question. So aside from them telling you that that group was not the place to post that kind of information, I have a couple questions about that. So did they take down the original post at all, saying like,
nope.
Hey, this Gabriel guy shouldn't have shared about the vaccines?
No, that stuff's allowed. Yeah,
Okay.
Everything was left up, except for my comments with the doctors and scientists and other information about the COVID vaccine that the teachers and staff are about to receive.
Okay. And then how did it make you feel, like your actual feelings? What did it feel like when they were taking it down? Like, did you feel sad, angry, outraged? I mean, what was your...
I mean, it's frustrating. I mean, I've seen this increase on a global level, the censorship. So, just you're seeing it at local levels. So I'm not surprised, but frustrated. Yeah. Because that's probably worse than anything that's where I'm kind of heading to, is like the censorship. We cannot not allow people to have information.
That's right. Agreed. I totally agree. Because how are people supposed to make an informed decision if there's, the other side of the story is never even made available? Like how do people make a decision? It's pretty sad. And one last question. So it was the person called Roosevelt PTA that was taking that stuff down, right? Or allegedly. And so, were there any other comments about your activities from other parents in the group? Like, or did anybody support what you were saying?
That's a good question, because it was a busy day today. So I, post all this stuff in the morning, and then I wasn't able to get back on to like 8:00 that night. So by that time I was, kicked out of the group. So so I'm not sure if there's really anybody who supported me or not.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's still up, the post.
And do you have any other parents that you know of that are in that group that might be able to share with you what they saw after you were kicked out of the group?
Yeah, I probably could go look back. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'll check back with you after that.
Yeah, I really want the listening audience to see and to hear that this could happen to any one of us. That, I'm on a small local community group online, right? And it's so interesting because I'm like, I feel like I already can't post about vaccine stuff in there because the narrative, like it almost feels like watching mainstream news because people post just this blind narrative that we see everywhere. So, but I know almost everybody in that group face to face, like these are people that when we had regular school in session, I would see these people on the yard, like these are real people. And how embarrassing it must have felt for you to be treated the way that you were treated online even though, you know, there's only 350-ish people, but still, these are real people in your world that if you saw them on the street, they might
Yeah.
know what happened. So that's got to be pretty embarrassing.
Actually, I went by, there's at our school today, some parents, I love student activism, some parents were organizing to open up our school, because they were talking about opening up our school for 90 minutes once a week. And so I saw some local
That's
parents
not opening.
I know, right?
90 minutes once a week. That's not opening school.
So these parents, I love seeing them get active and like organize this. I wanted to go by and walk by and support them. And one of the moms I've known since my son, he's in 8th grade now, but kindergarten. So the mom, I see her and we're friendly because we've known each other for a long time. She's like, oh, Jill, the most hated Facebook person on, like she was laughing, but
wow.
Yeah.
So you have good rapport with her. She wasn't like putting you down.
Yeah,
she wasn't
joking.
Yeah. Okay. She was trying to be.
She actually did comment on that post, but yeah. But
wow, Jill. Well, I wish more people were like you that, took the time to share the information. And I'm so sorry that your information did not stay up.
Yeah.
But I would love it if, we'll see if we can connect offline and talk about how to bring the awareness to the school, perhaps the school district, perhaps the PTA leadership. So I have a feeling the story is not going away anytime soon. So I just want to say thank you for letting us know so we can get involved.
I mean, once you know the information, and you just want everyone to have the information because of all the vaccine injury out there. So
that's right.
So thank you for taking the time with me. I appreciate it, Michelle.
Absolutely, Jill. Absolutely. Well, I'm going to log off of the, you knew in advance I was going to be recording this. So I'm going to stop the recording. And I just want to thank everybody who's taken the time to watch this. Please like, share, subscribe, and send this to other people that, whoops. Oh my goodness, sorry. A call came in right at the same time. So I'm just going to ask everyone to like, share, subscribe, and help get the word out about this situation. Censorship is not okay. And we have to protect people that are going through any kind of censorship. You don't have to like the message, but you can't continue to vilify the messenger. And cancel culture is just not going to work. We need a world where we all get to live and breathe and coexist. It can't just be about getting rid of people that you don't agree with. So, Jill, thanks again. I'm going to end the recording now. And I just want to say thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wait a minute. I'm like, how do I end the recording? Hold on one second. Here we go.